down when you doing this and when you doing that, and we're not talking to y'all right now. I love y'all. Y'all cool. I mean, you got to get your money, but I'm not talking to y'all right now. I'm talking to the entrepreneurs, the people that make their own schedule. I'm talking to the people that got to live off of the whim of their own backs, right? Um, I'm talking to me, man. I'm talking to me. So the number one way to not become overwhelmed is plan the night before, bro. Plan it the night before. If you have a live you got to do, if you got a video you got to create, if you got a task you got to get done, plan yours the night before. Just plan it out the night before. And proper preparation prevents poor performance, right? So when you plan something, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to stick to that specific plan, right? I'm going to say that again. When you plan something, it doesn't necessarily mean, this is Monday Madness we talking about. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to stick to that specific plan. But when you do plan something, it does give you a foundation. It does give you a what's it called? An outline of what you might have to do that day and how you might be able to get it done in a timely manner. So planning is always important because the man or the woman that does not have a plan actually has a plan to fail, right? So when you don't plan, you're planning to fail. So Monday Madness, one way to alleviate you being overwhelmed and you having analysis paralysis. You know what analysis paralysis is? Analysis paralysis is when you have so much to do that you spend more time planning out or analyzing what it is that you're going to do than you do actually doing stuff. I'm going to say it again. Analysis paralysis is when you have so much to do that you spend more time analyzing what it is you have to do than you do actually doing the things you got to do. So you don't want to suffer from analysis paralysis. The number 2 way, right? I told you I was going to give you a couple. I think I got 2 more. So the number 2 way to not succumb to analysis paralysis, especially on a Monday as an entrepreneur, is to do a brain dump. What's a brain dump? A brain dump is when you get a piece of paper, like so. You get a pen. You know what a pen is, right? And then you dump everything out of your brain that you know you have to do, all your tasks, all the what's another word for tasks? Everything that you got to do, right? All your responsibilities, all of your everything that you got to do, no matter in what order it's in, you get it out of your brain and you get it on some paper. You get it out of your brain and you get it on some paper. Now, part 2 of that is once you get it on the paper, that's when you start to number things. Like, I know I got to do this before I do that. So this will probably be the first priority. This is number 1. Now, this thing, I don't got to get this done until Wednesday and it's Monday. This is probably going to be number 3 or number 4 or maybe number 5, depending upon how many things you have on your list. A brain dump is highly effective because it gives you a picture of it gives you an overlook of the bigger picture. You might have things in there that you ain't got to do until Friday, but you were overwhelmed so much that you were thinking about it today. You might have things in there that you ain't got to have done until next month. But the overwhelmingness of you having all of this in your mind is going to make you think you got to do this today. So once you write it down, and you could even do this, an advanced form of the brain dump. You could even do this. You could even write on the right side of those things the due date for those things. Ooh. You can even write down when these things need to be finished on the right-hand side, right? So the brain dump is when you put everything in your brain on a piece of paper. That way, if you forget, guess what? It's on the paper, baby. It don't matter if you forgot because it's on the paper. And if you have the dates on the right-hand side of when it needs to be done, that's even better. And if you have the numbers on the left-hand side of what needs to be done first, that's even better. Because on that moment when you got to go pick the kids up from school or somebody call your phone and it's unexpected, you got to talk to them for like an hour, or you get a sale from this person and you got to go ahead and walk them through the clothes on Zoom or something, and that take you 30 minutes that you didn't expect to use, you're going to go back to that paper and be like, dang, what was I doing? Okay, I got this crossed off. I got that crossed off. Oh, I was on this. This is what I was doing because this is number 3. So a brain dump is highly effective when it comes to not succumbing to that over analysis paralysis, man. So that's Monday Madness right there. That is Monday Madness. Having over analysis paralysis, right? The third way, excuse me. So the third way that you avoid succumbing to the Monday Madness or the over analysis paralysis. Thank y'all for watching, all 5 of y'all on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, or Twitter. I appreciate you coming through. Ain't nobody on Instagram right now. It's pretty weird. I don't know. It's normally the other way around. But get excited. It's Monday. So the other way to avoid an over analysis paralysis and avoid Monday Madness and to just be in your flow state. Just be in your flow state when you're working on Monday as an entrepreneur. The best way to do this is get up not super early, but get up before all of the things you have to do even start. Get up at least an hour and a half before those things start. Now, getting up ain't just the key. Being awake isn't just the key. Being awake and being focused is the key to being in your flow state. So the first thing you do when you wake up is you have to achieve something. You have to make an accomplishment. And this is a brain trick that billionaires use. The first thing you do when you wake up, I want you to make up your bed or something. Make up your bed or line all your shoes up in the bottom of the closet or do something that's going to give you that dopamine rush as if you have achieved something. Do something like that, right? The second thing when you wake up, I want you to go within. So I want you to sit somewhere in a quiet space that you can think, not touch anything, and don't touch your phone either. When you first wake up and you an hour and a half early, don't touch any electronic device at all. Don't even go near it. Don't even go near it. So I want you to focus so you can be in a flow state. Now, this is probably the most difficult tactic that I'm going to tell you to use. And I still struggle with this tactic at times. But when you wake up, achieve something, get the dopamine, right? After you achieve something, you need to go within immediately. When you achieve that thing, go within. While you're still on that dopamine rush, you need to sit down, sit very still, and meditate. Now, meditation doesn't just mean that you're silencing your thoughts. That's one type of meditation. There's 7 kinds of meditation, by the way. But that's, like I said, another live for another day. So what up, Scorpion King? How you feel? We're talking about over analysis paralysis and how to defeat Monday Madness. You already know. So you want to go within. And as you're going within, you don't want to silence your thoughts, but you want to allow your thoughts to come and allow them to go. Now, when they come, you don't want to focus on the thought. You just want to observe the thought. So when the thought comes, you think about, why did I just think that? What does that mean? And where was I even going with that? And then let it go. There's going to be another thought that's going to come. You do the same thing with that one. And once you're able to evaluate why you're thinking the way you're thinking and what you're thinking about, you'll be able to go about your day with a higher form of focus because now you're no longer succumbing to being distracted by your thoughts. So when you in the mix and you doing some work and you writing some shit down or you typing something and you start thinking about that one episode of Teletubbies, it's not going to distract you from your work anymore. You're going to hear it in your mind. I'm feeling great, bro. Get excited. You already know. You're going to hear it in your mind. You're going to observe the thought and acknowledge that it happened, and you're going to let it go. This right here is one of the most powerful tools that you can use to focus. Mondays are the hardest day to focus because you're just coming off a weekend. You might have drunk some Patron last night. You might still have the chick in your bed. You got to kick her out before you get ready for work. It's a lot of things that could be going on Monday morning. A lot of things, right? So when you practice this and when you study this, when you do this over and over and over again, you get stronger at it. You get better at it. And again, I told you, I still struggle with this tactic myself. So if I'm still struggling with this tactic myself, it's no way that you should get on it the first time and believe that you're supposed to just do it perfectly. Nobody's perfect. Everybody has a different mindset, a different way that their brain works. So when you're actually thinking about your thoughts, you don't want to get caught up in thinking about letting the thought go. if that makes sense. You want to get caught up in allowing the thought to pass. Don't make it a big deal. Don't over exaggerate it. Don't allow it to become the topic now, because remember, your focus is to just observe the thought. Just listen to yourself and let it pass. Now, if you come up with something, if you're thinking about something and you're like, oh shit, I got to remember that, it's okay to stop meditating and write that down real fast so you won't forget it. It's okay to do that. Now, when you're going within, there are going to be other distractions too. So remember, I said find yourself in a quiet place. That's really difficult for me to do. I got 5 kids. My kids are going to wake up. They're going to ask for cereal, period. That's what they're going to do. Ain't nothing going to stop them. So when that happens to me, what I'm also learning is how to work in a hectic or busy environment. When that happens to me, the first thing I do is write down what I'm doing right now. So when I get up and get that cereal and I come back to this desk, the first thing I see is what I was doing right before I left. So there's no way for me to stay off track for too long. You did get excited about that. All right, so that was Monday Madness and how to avoid the over-analysis paralysis in your situation. That was Monday Madness. Now, the other part of this is why you are losing. And I ain't gonna lie, bro. This one is a little bit more blunt. This is a little bit more. You might get pissed off. You might hop off the live for this one. But I'm about to tell you why you're losing right now. You're losing. The number one reason why you're losing. All right. So first of all, hold up. Let me back up. Because a lot of y'all are going to sit here and tell me you're not losing. Well, I don't know about you, but I got it going on. And I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Sorry, bro. Sorry. But what's up, Tania? Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. So you're definitely losing. So it's only 2 ways to go, right? You're either growing or you're dying. You're either growing or you're dying. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you did something for the first time? When was the last time you did something for the first time? Now, if you was able to answer that question before I asked it the second time, you might not be losing. I'm sorry. Sorry for saying that about you. You might not be losing. But for all the people that weren't able to answer that question before I asked it the second time, you're definitely losing. When was the last time you did something for the first time? The last time I did something for the first time was a week ago. It wasn't today. It wasn't yesterday. It was 7 or 8 days ago. So I'm losing right now. Yes, I'm losing right now. Talking to you, I'm losing. You're either growing or you're dying. There is no in between. There is no stagnicity. There is no flying straight. You're going up or you're going down. Period. There is, like, if you're not growing, if you're not being poured into, if something isn't being given to you, oh, best believe something is being taken from you. Best believe you're pouring into someone else. Best believe that you are shrinking instead of growing. There is no in between. There is no in between. You're either growing or you're dying. So I'm telling you that you're losing because every single day I want you to do something for the first time. Even if it's something that you're already doing, I want you to tweak it and I want you to do it at a higher level for the first time. You don't have to go out and just bungee jump today and then skydive tomorrow and then swim with alligators the next day and bite a shark the day after that. I'm not talking about doing random stuff. I'm talking about things that are within you getting to your bigger picture. That's what I'm talking about. If you are not growing, then you are dying. The last time you did something for the first time, I'm not talking about you flying to Machu Picchu. I'm talking about you doing something that involves you getting to your goals. Remember on Friday, we talked about what garlic is, and the first letter in garlic is the G. The G stands for goals. What goals do you have right now? Did you even set any goals this week? Did you? I set my goals for this week last night. I set my goals for this week last night. What are you doing? Is the question. Merchandisers. You will not be successful unless you get ahead of this shit. Unless you stay ahead of it, you will not be successful. So yes, you're losing right now, especially if you didn't set your goals for this week last night or Saturday night, because Sunday really the first day of the week. So get excited. I ain't gonna yell at you too long. You know what to do. You know how to get there. You know how to find and access this replay if you need to watch it again. You know you need to go do that brain dump right now. You know you also need to set your goals for this week if you haven't yet. And you know that you need to continue to take consistent action if you want to succeed. Quit bullshitting with yourself, because I ain't gonna bullshit with you. I'm gonna go do what I gotta do. And if you're gonna allow me to make this gap between us bigger and further and larger every single day, then you're just gonna get left behind. Sorry, I'm not sorry though. You're just gonna get left behind. So get excited. I'm Merch Life J, motivational, inspirational speaker for parentpreneurs across the globe, and I'll see y'all later, man. Peace.